Hello everyone, my name is David Arsafid here, and I'm going to be showcasing a Lyrilusc deck profile. The Lyrilusc deck profile is basically more like for a Lyrilusc deck profile. The main point of the Lyrilusc deck profile is that they have special abilities where they can just like swarm into the field and just having to swarm to the field. And so without further ado, I'll showcase the deck profile. This is from one of the basic decks from Legendary Duelists Synchro Storm, in which it says LED8. So 3 copies of Turquoise Webbler. If you control no monsters, then you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon one Lyrilusc monster from your hand. If this card is special summoned from the hand, you can special summon another from your hand or graveyard. But you can only use this effect once per turn. So it's like a free summon, and then it'll give you a chance to summon another one from either from your hand or from the graveyard. Next I'll have Lyrilusc Kambar Query. 3 copies of them. It says here, if this card is in my hand, I could target one Lyrilusc monster from my graveyard, special summon both this card and that monster. So I could special. So as long as this card is in my hand, I target a Lyrilusc monster in my graveyard. Special summon both this card and this card. And it also has another effect. A wind type Xyz monster that was summoned using this card on the field as material, it'll gain its effect. So its additional effect will work as long as if it overlays, and it has to be on the field in order to be the effect. This card gains an additional 200 attack, and it cannot switch. It's basically more like their ability just to swarm into the field. Next, I have 3 copies of Lyrilusc Sparrow Swallow. Sparrow Swallow works is like this. So let's say, for example, if I control a Winged Beast monster, I can special summon both this card and any level 1 Winged Beast monster from my hand. I can only use this effect from once per turn this way. So like, let's say for example, Lyrilusc, and I activate her effect. It says here, if I control a Winged Beast monster, I can special summon both this and another level 1 Winged Beast monster. So I can special summon both her and him. But its effect only can work as long as I control a Winged Beast monster. And if this card, a wind type Xyz monster that was a Xyz summon using this card on the field as material, it gains its effect. If this card is Xyz summon, I could target one Lyrilusc monster in my graveyard and then attach to this card as material. So it's like, let's say we have an Xyz monster, then it uses its special ability, targeting an Lyrilusc in my graveyard, and just absorbs it, gains another additional material, but that's the whole kind of idea. Next, we have 3 copies of Sparrow Swallow. This effect can only work if this card was special summoned. I could add any level 1 Winged Beast monster from my deck to my hand. But cause like this card can only work like it has like special summon with a card effect. Let's say for example, like let's do the combo again. Like for example, Keyboard's Warbler. And then I'll activate the Sparrow's effect. And if I control a Winged Beast monster, I can special summon both this card and a level 1 Winged Beast monster from my hand. So I can special summon both this one and this one. Then its special ability will now activate. Because since this was special summon, I can add any level 1 Winged Beast monster from my deck to my hand. If you try to doing with a normal summoning it will not work. Her effect only works if the card was special summoned. And that's why you have Kambar Query, Sparrow Swallow, or Turquoise Warbler. They only work with the effects on these. It's really a basic deck, but anyway. That's for Creemout Sparrow. Next, we have 2 copies of Celine Wagtail. I would put in 3, but I think Celine Wagtail, I just put it right there because if this card was special summon, I could add 1 Lyrilusc spell or trap card from my deck to my hand. And if this card is in my graveyard, I can target 1 Xyz monster you control, attack this card to it as material. More like overlay stuff. Next, we have 3 copies of DDD Crow. DDD Crow is actually one of the most necessary ones because even though many people don't use DDD Crow, I use DDD Crow because it's a winged beast monster, and all my Lyrilusc monsters kind of depend on special summoning. It doesn't say whatever, because I could add any level 1 winged beast monster, and they're winged beasts. But quick effect, you can discard this card to the graveyard, then target 1 card in your opponent's graveyard, then banish the target. But like I said, I could either use it as another material, as a winged beast monster, or something else. Next, I have 3 copies of Sparrow Slower Swallow. Slower Swallow is kind of like one of the most another unnecessary card because if there are 2 monsters with the same level on my field, I can special summon this card. This effect card can only work as long as I have 2 monsters with the same level. For example, Lyrilusc Squabbler or another DDD Crow, then I can special summon this card from my hand. Now, once per turn this way, you contribute this card, then draw 2 cards instead of 1 during your normal draw during their next draw phase. You could tribute it, but then you have to wait. I don't really like to do it for the draw effect. I just like it just for the sort of an extender. I have 3 Ash just for interruptions. 3 Ash, 1 Kaiju, and 1 Effect Veiler. Bear with me. I never had a lot of interruptions, but this is just like a fun deck, so I'm just trying to make my best to make it a fun deck as possible, or try to make something out of it, good out of it. Next, we'll have some spells. 1 Dark Hole, 1 Bird Sanctuary. Bird Sanctuary is just another card that has 2 different effects. I can target 2 Winged Beast Xyz monsters I control, attach 1 of those monsters to the other as material, then transfer the materials to that monster. Then if I have an Xyz monster that has 3 materials, I can draw 1 more card. Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is just good for just sending a card, like if you have good for sending stuff, but I'd like to send my Lyrilusc. Next, I have 2 copies of Wing Requail. Wing Requail is kind of like Pot of Greed, because if all the monsters you control are winged beast monsters, and if I control at least 2 monsters with different original names, pay 600 points to draw 2 additional cards. This only works for winged beast monsters only. 1 Bird Strike. I think I have 1 Bird Strike because if I control a Lyrilusc monster, I can negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls until the end of the turn, but you can only activate 1. Next, 3 Lyrilusc Bird Call. Bird Call it's kind of like Foolish Burial because you could take 1 Lyrilusc monster from your deck, either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. Then you can special summon 1 Lyrilusc monster with a different name from your hand. You can only activate 1. 1 Overlay Network, 1 Shallow's Nest, just for in case of tributing summoning, but I think I need more of these. Psychic Blade. I have 3 copies of Psychic Blade. Psychic Blade works if I can pay life points in multiples of 100. Max is 2,000. Equip this card to the monster and it gains attack and defense points. So I use Psychic Blade because like if I get or any equip spell, I'm planning on getting more equip spells. But the reason I put Psychic Blade because I think it's going to work because it works with the combo with the Assembled Nightingale. Because Assembled Nightingale can gain 200 attack each material attachment. And this card can attack directly while if this card, it can attack the number of times each battle phase up to the number of materials attached to this card. So it can attack directly. And then if you use Psychic Blade, pay 2,000, it'll gain an extra 2,000 points, making its grand total depending on how many overlaid units it has, and can attack the people directly the number of times. So it's like an additional 2,000 points directly, and where OTK. It's kind of works with the combo. I'm planning on getting more equip spells. Next, I have trap cards, just 2 infinite permanents, 2 phantom feathers, 1 lost win, and that's basically what it is, but I just only like them. Now for the extra deck. I have 3 copies of Lyrilusc Synchro Storm. Starling as, like, if this card exceeds summon, I could target 1 face-up monster on the field. It gains 3,000 attack and defense for each material attached to this card. Once per turn, I can detach a material. Then I can add 1 level 1 winged beast monster from my deck to my hand. Then, all battle damage you take from battles involving this exceeds monster card can also be inflicted to the opponent. So if I attack, not only I take the damage, the opponent will take the damage as well. 3 Assembled Nightingale, we already explained about the combo with the Psychic Blade. He gains 200 points for each material attached to it, and he can attack directly. But once per turn, quick effect, you can detach 1 material from this card. Until the end of this turn, Lyrilusc monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Also, you take no damage, which is extremely well because it's good with the combo with this. And for example, let's see, in this sequence, I detach a material, and then I'll activate its effect. And until the end of this turn, Lyrilusc monster control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Also, you take no damage. So, if my Lyrilusc Starling attacks a monster with 3,000 attack points, normally we both take the damage. But since I use its effect, I will be protected by any battle damage. So basically, it's like protection. Next, I have 2 Robin. 500 attack point, you gain 500 for each material, and if your opponent special summons a monster, you can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 of those special summon monsters, return it to the hand. If this, my graveyard added to my hand, more or less or so. 2 copies of Promenade Tourish, 1 Divine Zeus, 1 Down Magician, and Nightmare Unicorn. And that's my deck profile for my Lyrilusc deck. It's basically it's kind of fun, it's amazing. I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a really good day.